Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. Today I will try to explain how and when to use GML visual block, which is called change instance. In a few previous videos we have learned and tried a couple of GML blocks which can create instance, set instance rotation, set instance scale, set instance color and so on. So we were working with instances and objects already, and we have explained what is the difference between object and instance. So in short and most easiest way to remember is that object is more important, it is original, it is cookie cutter, and when you want to make cookies, when you want to make copies of that object, you use that object to create instances. So you use cookie cutter to make cookies. You can make different objects. Some can be your enemies, pickups, player, and so on, and you can instance as many of those as you like, and then change instances like you change cookies. For example, add chocolate in one instance in one cookie, add vanilla flavor in the second one, strawberry in third one, and so on. So today we will we have explained how to do that in GameMaker in two ways. The first way is to just click and drag from your asset browser object into the scene, and it will become instance. And so as we can see and as we have explained, you can drag and drop as many instances as you like. It doesn't make much sense to make more than one instance of your player object, for example, but you can drag and drop object coins or enemies in more than one instance. And that was the first way, and the second way was by coding, by making the drag and drop blocks work for you, and use this create instance block, which will create the instance runtime in the scene, in the game, and we have used that for our game to create some kind of egg shapes, egg instances of egg object on our scene, and those eggs don't have any kind of function so far. They are not interactive, so we will change that now, and we will show how to change those instances into something else. So for example, I have instance of one instance of my object player, the white square, one instance of this green square, the enemy, one instance of this door square, and how many egg instances? 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 14, 16, 19, 21 if I counted well. So 21 instance of egg, one instance of player, one instance of enemy, and one instance of door, just to be clear. So what I want to do today in my tutorial is to change the look and interactivity of one instance to another. So you can use that for example to when you create some game, like if our for example, if our player object was some kind of transformers and robot transformers, so it can transform from robot shape into airplane or some kind of vehicle, car or something like that. So I would have this transformer move like robot first, and then when I press some button or receive some energy, I can transform into some other look and feel. And for that I would use, for example, I would make here objects obj, create object airplane or car or something like that, tank, and so on, and I would change this object player to instance into some other object airplane instance, and so on. So you can change instances that way, and then you can, for example, get complete other functionality of your player or whatever object instance you use. You can use that, for example, also to change some kind of I don't know, a human character into a monster, into a zombie, so it would turn from object player, object human NPC instance into object zombie NPC enemy instance. After some time, for example, or something like that, you can change I don't know, whatever you want. I don't know how what kind of ideas you have for your game, so we will use it on very simple example today. I will show it on for example zombie or egg or player or something like that. So for example, I will open my obj egg, and so far we have create. Yeah, I have added this. I will delete it for a second. So far we had create event only for egg object, so when the egg object gets instantiated on the screen, when I press button E, it will be randomly rotated with some yellowish color, and it will have random scale. And that's all cool, but I want my egg to hatch into something else, to create some kind of chicken or zombie, or to give some kind of, it's like some kind of loot, some kind of extra for my player, so it can give some kind of ammo, maybe some weapon, or maybe something bad like enemy or explosion or something like that. So I want to add some kind of game mechanics like that, and I can say after some time, after 5 seconds, after 10 seconds, create turn egg into zombie or chicken or weapon or ammunition or something like that. So I want to add that kind of surprise effect, like Kinder Surprise eggs, and so far we haven't learned in GameMaker Studio how to use alarms and how to play with time, so I have to test that by some other event. I will use add event mouse left pressed, so when I click on my object egg instance on the screen, so when I press with my left mouse button pressed on the object egg instance image sprite on the screen, I want to happen what? I want to happen a very simple change instance from from obj egg, because that's what I'm coding here, into what? There is a very simple interface here. We have only one option, and that is object. Pick whatever your object you want your current object to change, and I will pick enemy. Yeah, so simple as that. Object enemy, and now my instance will change from object egg instance into object enemy instance. Simple as that. Yeah, 10 minutes. Let's try that in game and see what will happen, and let's zoom this way, scale it a little bit like this, and yeah, a little bit more. Okay, so now when I click on my object egg instance on the screen, that instance will turn into something else, and I have used zombie, and let's try that. So when I click now on the egg, it will turn into zombie. And interesting and funny thing here is that, yeah, this small one looks cool. That as you can see, these new zombies, they are now they have rotation and scale, which is based on egg. We have created egg here with different kind of rotation and scale as we did in previous videos. So the instance of zombie object, which we create later with when left mouse button is pressed, remembers all of that. It remembers that it has some kind of custom rotation and custom scale factor, so it uses all of that. That can be good or bad for your game. Sometimes it will help you, sometimes you will have to get rid of that. I won't show that in this video, but maybe in some other. And so when I click on this obj egg instance, which is big and rotated, the zombie will also be rotated and big. Yeah, and this one will be small, small, bigger, and so on. We will solve that in other problems which we have made so far in some other videos, because it's another topic and it's different when you code in GML and different when you code in drag and drop. But think about it so far, just that you have learned new feature and that you can change your instance. That means the cookie cutter from one to another in any second of your game. So it doesn't matter if you made cookie in the shape of star. If you later need some kind of tree or whatever shape, other shape you want, you can change it in GameMaker Studio. You have the option, you have the possibility to do that. And again, there are different endless possibilities for that. You can change your enemies into friends or vice versa, or you can change your player from one look into another, and features and so on. So add some kind of explosions or something like that, I don't know. So many different ways to play with it, and again, you can go crazy and wild. So instead of obj enemy, I can create my obj player. GameMaker doesn't care. He gives me that option to do whatever I want. So and now when I click on my obj instance egg, the new player will be created, and because I have coded before that my player can move when I press my arrows left and right, same will be with these new players. So this will be new player on the screen, small one in the color of this. So when I move, it moves also, and I can create another here. So you can create a gang of those, or like some kind of army of one. Oh yeah, I died and all died. That's cool. That's also unintentional, but you see, you can go really crazy and make but it's called I think happy accidents or something like that in game development and development in general. When you by accident pick, for example, pick instead of zombie, pick obj player 2 and create some funny or interesting mechanics by accident, and then that way you develop new game like that. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We have learned something new which we will use sooner or later for sure. See you soon in next video.